Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I have a new little craft I'm working on today, a new little project, I guess you could say. I kind of had a craft attack this afternoon. I was cleaning up my craft room and I had these bits and pieces here. Right here, yes, I saved all these tiny bits of fabric right here and ribbon. There's a couple pieces of ribbon, there's a little piece of crochet in there. And then here's some bigger pieces right here. And then I have my whole scrap bag over here. This is all fabrics, and there's probably some other things in here. Maybe there might be some laces in there, mostly fabric scraps. So, but what I wanted to do was use up these little bits and pieces. Right here, mostly these little pieces right here. So I had a project in mind and I was looking for it. I had seen it on Pinterest. I was looking for it on Pinterest. I did not reach it. I have lots of boards under my Pinterest. If you ever want to go check it out, I'm in Turquoise Dreaming on Pinterest also. But before I got to the one I was looking for, I ran into this one and I was like, well, that's all little bits and pieces of fabric too. So I went ahead and decided to try this one because I thought it was so cute, and it worked out really well. I really like the outcome. I didn't know if I would be able to do it, and I didn't know how it would come out, but I really like it. So I was going to show you how I made this little, I'm calling it a journaling card. You see it's blank on the back, and I'll show you how I did it. So first of all, I'm not a drawing artist, but I can look at something and copy it, if you know what I mean. So, like, I don't draw things out of my head, really. I mean, I can draw a flower or something, but nothing really complicated. I would say my drawings come out looking like childlike or primitive, maybe. So, what I did was, first of all, copied the drawing I saw on Pinterest, and it's a vase with a flower shape, right? And it has a little stem right here. So all I did, so this is 2 pieces of file folder that I already cut. They're the same shape, and I rounded the corners. Okay, and then I took and drew my little vase. So like you can see, this is different sizes. It doesn't matter what size, just anything around this size would work. I just happen to have some pre-cut pieces that I want to, use. So I used this one, and I said, well, this is, I kind of wanted one the same size as this because this one worked out so well. But I said, well, I'm not going to cut another one. Let me just use what I've got here, because these I made out of scraps, scrap pieces of file folder. So I'm just going to draw a little vase, and so, just a little simple vase, nothing really complicated. Of course, I did this off camera, so now I'm on camera and I have to be under pressure here. But yeah, just a little, nothing complicated. A little line at the top, 2 little slanty lines down here. And if you use a pencil, if you don't like your drawing, you can erase it and start over again, right? It's going to be covered up with fabric and stitching, so if you make a mistake, don't throw away your card, just erase it and start over. So yeah, I've got a little slanty straight across the bottom. You see on this one, there's a little space here. So a little space, you're going to be stitching around the outside. Now the one I saw on Pinterest did not have this stitching around the outside. I just decided to do that because at the end I decided to stitch 2 pieces together. That's why I had the 2 pieces, so I cover up the stitching, and you have a nice flat surface. If you want to make this into a journaling card, you have a nice flat surface without feeling the stitching. You can't feel the stitching under there to write on. I was thinking about coffee dye paper, but I thought coffee dye paper might not be as smooth. You might be able to feel the stitching if you're trying to write on there. It might be lumpy or something. So I decided to go with 2 pieces of file folder. So then you've got your little vase, and then this is simple, I'm telling you. A little stem here. and then a little flower. So that you see the flower, just little roundy petals like that, just a simple little flower. So, and I'll show you, just, I'm going to try to copy the one I have on here because it turned out so well. Now I don't want to go too close to the top because, let me just, you want nice round, not anything like jagged or too pointy or anything, because you want to shape your fabric into these little curves. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, bless me, sorry. Excuse me, goodness. I've never sneezed on camera before, I don't think. On video. So, oh goodness, my allergies are getting the best of me today, and I haven't even been outside, so what's going on? Anyway, back to the drawing. So I found by doing this one, this was my first one, that really just nice round little petals works best when you're trying to shape your fabric into those shapes. So let's just see what we can do here. Let me go this way this time. Kind of a little, let's see. Yeah, it goes out over the vase a little bit. See, I'm making it a little bit too big up here because I need room for my stitches at the top. So this needs to go in a little bit. It almost looks like a tree, right? Okay, this I'm going to put a little bit more roundy over here. Almost like a loose four-leaf or five-leaf clover type of thing. Okay, and when you're satisfied with your drawing, then you can start gluing. Okay, let me grab my tissue again. Okay, so then what I did, just started gluing with my art glitter glue. And I'm just letting you know what kind of glitter I'm using, what kind of glue I'm using, so that, I mean, this does work on really good on fabric, so, and it's not, you could use Fabri-Tac, I guess. I mean, Fabri-Tac works good too. This just, you get a nice flat, and I guess you would with Fabri-Tac too. Nice flat, when you glue it down, it's nice and flat. So I really have small bits and pieces here. And so like here, I was just thinking crazy quilt when I was gluing this down. Okay, so let me see, because I use a lot of my bigger small bits on this one. So now I have really tiny bits to use here. I'm not going to use this right now. This, well, it's actually coming apart. This rickrack, I'm going to put that over there. Everything else, this I'm not going to use. A little piece of crochet trim there. This is a good piece here. This is a bigger piece. Let's see. Yeah, it's all blue, so maybe this is the first piece I'll put down. I kind of pull my frays off, put them over in a little trash pile there. And so I'm just going to start gluing. Let's see. See how this is all kind of jagged? I think I might even it out here at the bottom and start at the bottom corner here. So I'm just going to make myself a flat edge here and go from there. So what I did was just put some glue down, and I just used this, so it should be flowing, you would think, right? Here it comes. But yeah, just put some glue down here. And I kind of did learn quite a bit in doing the one. So now I hope I can do this one even better and faster than I did the first one. So we glue it down and kind of fit it inside your little pencil lines. Okay. Now you're going to be sewing around the outside edges. You see this, my stitching there around the vase? You're going to be sewing. So if you have I even have a little gap right here. I mean, I could have put my sewing over more, but you know, this kind of just forms your vase, and so you don't, if you have a gap, you don't even really notice it. There's no gaps up here, but I just sewed right on the edge of my fabric around the flower. So, you know, it doesn't have to be any type of perfection. And you see my pencil line showing, but we can erase that if we're worried about it. You know what I mean? So let's just keep gluing and see if we can get this done. You can see I didn't match my colors at all. I just, whatever I had here, I used. This is purple. This is quite a bit the same as what I've already got down there as far as the blue color. But I can put it over on this side maybe. Nice straight piece right there. I think that's a good idea. And then we'll fill in with different colors in between. So yeah, I've been wanting to use up these little bits and pieces of fabric, and there's a couple little different things I had in mind. If I can find the other thing I wanted to do, I'll come back with a video on that. Oh, here, see how we have a curve here? Let's go ahead and flatten that out. Okay, we'll put this right here. Well, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll put it like this. Well, I want to put it right here. I think that'll be, I have enough, believe me, I have enough bits and pieces here that I can fill in any little spot that we have. So, okay, that's all glued down. Now a different color and a different shape. Let's see, this one will fit up here like that. Let's see which one is the front and which one is the back of the fabric. I think we need to cut off this little edge right here, just because it's hanging over the side of the vase. And let's see, I got a couple frays that fell off of that piece there. Ooh, I gotta try, what is that? Somebody just drove in front of my house. I have like a driveway right in front of my house, so it's somebody I know driving through the driveway there. Okay. Now, is this sticking over this fabric too much? Let me see if we need to cut anything off there. I think it'll be all right. I just gotta glue it, make sure it's glued down, and pull off any frays. Make sure everything's glued down here. Okay. It is a little bit tedious, but it's worth it in the end. I thought it was so cool when I finished. I was like, wow, I can't believe that came out so good. Okay, let's put a piece of this orange down the middle. This piece is coming off here, so let's go ahead and cut that off. Let's see where we can fill in with that. Maybe, I wonder if we can curve it now. I mean, it might just be right here in the middle. If it's wide enough. I think it is. Yeah, I think it'll go right there. Okay. I'm still going to have some tiny bits to fill in, but I have tiny bits here, so we will see. Not sure how far it came down or went up, but yeah, right in the middle here. This will be pretty in between the blue and the purplish colors. Trying to get it right against both fabrics. I think it filled that space in pretty good. Okay, now we got some weird shapes there, I know. Triangular little red piece here can go right here maybe. Got a little bit of maybe frayish type edge here I want to cut off. And put some glue in that spot and see if we can fill that spot in. Let's see which way it goes. Doesn't matter, I don't think. I hope it comes out as cute as the first one. Oh, goodness. Tissue break. Okay, another color. Oh, here's a piece of gingham that we could put down here, possibly. Again, with our little phrase here. A little bit of frayage. So yeah, I had a craft attack. When I was cleaning up my craft room, I was like, oh, there's bits and pieces. I've been wanting to do that. Should I just do it another day and just finish cleaning my craft room? Or maybe I could do it real quick, you know? So decided to satisfy my craft attack and go ahead and go for it. And so this is what's happening. All right, let's see how far this stretches out here. Got a little bit of a space right there. All right. I think it's going to go over here pretty far, but I might have a little spot there. Yeah. Wow, that's going to be fun. I got a little tiny spot right there. Let me see if I can get this inside my pencil line. And I think I need a little bit of glue right here. Yeah, it's going quite a bit over that, but I think it'll be all right because it fills all of this area in. Get back up there. Yeah, it fills all of that area in except for one little tiny. Well, do I need to pull it back down here? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, okay. Now I got it. Okay. Okay, so we got a little tiny spot right there. Let me see what we want to fill that in with. Got a little piece of this we could put right there. Yeah, let's go for it. A little piece of brown, kind of a sparkly, glittery ribbon that we can fill in right here. And be done with the bottom part as far as, yeah, pretty much done with the bottom part. Okay. I've got a little bit of a pencil mark there, but I think I'll just erase. Well, no, that was, what was that? It wasn't even pencil. It was something, a fray or something. Okay. It fooled my eyes. Get all the frays off of there. Okay, now we're going to work on the top part. And let's see if I can get a big piece. That's what I did before. I started out with a big piece. Okay, let's do this one. And I just kind of, I'll tell you what I learned during the first part is, you know, I had my pencil mark and I was trying to glue it down and then cut exactly where my pencil mark was. But this time, what I will show you what I did last time, what I learned is, okay, I got my approximately where my pencil mark is. So I'm going to make a little curve mark right there, like the flower that we drew. My scissors, I think I need to clean them. I think I got some glue on them here. They're not exactly being sharp right now. Okay, so I had this, I think, over here. Okay, so that's about right there. And then over here, let's see where our flower goes. Goes up to about right there. Gonna hold my thumb there. And I want to get it on the outer edge of the flower. So I've got it there. So I'm going to cut a little curve here. Wow, all these little frays are going to drive me a little bit batty. A nice curve there, see? So we got a curve there. Got our curve there. Now let's see what we have over here. Curve, curve for our flower. And we cut a couple of little curves right here. Let me see where it comes out to, while keeping these in their place. I think this way will be easier than what I did before in the long run, and you'll see what I'm talking about after we do it. So I got my finger. Wow, I moved my finger. Okay, I'm just going to cut right here, and then I'll cut off more if I need to. So I'm just going to cut a curve right here. Okay, so it was like this, curve, curve, and is this too far out? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, we need a little bit of a, like this, a little bit of a curve and curve in, like this, and then curve back out, like this, and curve. I think this actually is inside the flower. Okay, something like this. Well, it went like this. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect is what the point of this is. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're making a flower, yes, but if it's outside of your lines or inside your lines or whatever and your lines are showing, you can erase your lines. You know, this is just, say this is just a guideline. It doesn't have to be exactly where your pencil drawing is, okay? So now we're going to put some glue down, glue this piece down. It kind of went over here, and then it went over to here, and it went down here, and down here a little bit, I think, and then all across here in this area. And we can put more glue on if we need it. See, it kind of went out of my lines there. Okay, so something like this. Okay. Okay. So our flower is starting to form. Let me see the bottom part here. This needs to be a little curvy here. So I'm going to cut this because this is covering up the whole bottom part of our flower. And we need a little bit of an indent here. I'm going to try to curve it in. And a little bit here. And up a little bit here. See, this is what I was trying to avoid, is cutting it on the card. But I didn't cut this bottom part out, so now I have to cut it on the card. But just a little curve up here, and it should do it. See? All right, maybe a little bit more. Cut this point off, and we'll be good. So just so everything's curvy, you know. I kind of don't want any sharp points on this one, this flower. All right. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. All right. Now we've got a little bit of a, we need a little bit of a curve right here, and we got a big curve right here. So let's work on that with some different colors. I've got, let's see, I might have to grab, okay. Yeah, I used this before for the other one, this piece of fabric. And so I'll put a little bit of that over here. Let's see if this is big enough to cover this spot right here. It is, so I'm going to cut it off about right there. And then I'm going to cut a pretty good curve in here. So I'm going to cut a little curve here. I don't want any sharp points, so let's cut that off. And then a little curve over here, and then see how it fits on there. See that? It's like a half semicircle. Okay, and now is it too big? Is it too small? Let's see. probably going to be just about right. See that? Just about right. Okay, I think we're going to go for it with this piece. It might be a little bit bigger than this circle, but not too bad. Or this semicircle. Okay, plenty of glue on there, but we might have to add some around the edges. Okay, so I'm going to match it up here on the corner. See how I matched it up there? And match it up right here. Just get a nice flower shape. It's going a little bit close to the top, but I'm not going to worry about it. If I have to zigzag stitch over the flower a little bit, it'll be fine. See, I did come really close on this one too. Almost went over it right there, but I didn't really go over it, but it was right next to it. And you can always straight stitch around too. Maybe I'll do that this time. Maybe I won't zigzag. Maybe I'll just straight stitch around. Okay, this one's down good. It feels like it's all glued down. Now we need a little curve right there. So let's see if I have any other fabrics to use, or do I want to use this one again, because I have plenty of that one. I have this little piece here that would be cute. We have some of it down here too. Let me see if I can get this into a curve or a shape that we can use. I know it's small, but you know, that's what this is all about, using up our small bits, right? Okay, I got a bit of a curve on it, so we could put it right about like that. Okay, I think we're gonna do it. I think it'll be good. Let me see if we have a point here. What is this? We have a little bit of something here I need to cut off. It's bending in, but yeah, I think that'll be perfect. Let me fold it down here one more time and see. Yeah, it goes right around. Yes, I think it's going to be great. Okay, so we have our flower. We're making a little curve here, curving in here and out a little bit right here, but I want it to meet up with the other part of the flower. Let's see, this can go out a little. All right. Now, what brings it all together is we put a little, this is actually a little flower that I cut out right here. You can cut out, the one on Pinterest had just a circle piece of flower. I mean, a circle piece of fabric there. It didn't have a flower, but I just happened to have this fabric with some flowers on it. So I actually fussy cut out a flower. So whatever you have, you know, it doesn't have to be a flower. It can be just a circle. And then when I was stitching, I stitched a circle in the middle of that flower. So can you see that? There's a messy stitched circle in the middle of that flower, okay? And I'm kind of just cutting this out really quick here, not getting all crazy with it. But, you know, kind of messy, fussy cutting, right? Okay, so this is going to go right here. Kind of brings it all together, you know? Doesn't it bring it all together? I think it does. I mean, it's not the color, then it's bringing it together. It's bringing it together because you have something pretty right in the middle, like a flower. It makes it look more like a flower. Okay. You can either put the glue at this point on your middle piece or like I did on there. So either one works. I'm going to do it like this. Make sure it's all glued down around the edges. So at this point I'm going to go and sew it. I'm going to do all the sewing at the same time. First of all, here's a little fray here coming off. Well, I can cut it. But first of all, here's how I started so that I can do it all one stitch except for that middle piece. I started right here at the top of my vase with a straight stitch, okay? And I went this way, over this way, down this way, up, over this way, up this way, over this way, up here, all the way around the flower. Done. Then came back, did a separate little circle stitch around here. Done with that, separate around the outside. So 3 separate little stitches, if you know what I mean, but I just use black thread for everything. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be back with our finalized journaling card. So wish me luck. I'll be back. Sorry, I just need to see where the pause is. Okay, guys, I'm back. I did it. This is the second one. Okay, see, I straight stitched around the outside. And, I mean, the stitching just really frames it and just makes it, as far as I'm concerned, it, something about it just it gives it that finishing touch and finished look, and just kind of, if you thought your flower or your vase was wonky, then you kind of just straighten it out with your stitching, and it all comes out beautiful and cute in the end, right? So let me hold it up close. Like, this is the first one I showed you. Okay, and it has the zigzag around. And this is the second one we just did. And it is a little hard to see the stitching, probably especially on camera, but or on video, but it just really, you know, frames it and sets it out, and, you know, just finishes it off, and just makes it look just better, you know. So I hope you enjoyed that, and that you do some, and that you're inspired, and, you know, you saw my drawing. It wasn't anything special. So, you know, if I can do it, I feel like probably anybody can do it. So if you have any questions, let me know. I mean, you saw everything I did from beginning to end. I mean, you didn't see my stitching, but that's, if you sew, you sew. And if you don't sew, you know, you could almost do this by hand. You could do the stitching by hand if you don't have a sewing machine. So anyway, that's all I can tell you. That's the finished product, and I hope you liked it. I love it. I hope to do some more. They do take a little time, as you saw, but I think the end product is just so adorable that it's worth it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time, and happy crafting.